Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on HD Pocket. Today we're going to be going over the brand new set that was just announced, Celestial Gardens. There's also a new promo event that's also been announced. There's a lot of things to break down. Let's get into it. So, starting things off, we're going to take a look at the trailer that just dropped for the new Pokemon TCG Pocket Set, and then we'll go over a couple of more cards that aren't in this trailer, and also the new promo card, which is a Rayquaza, our first Generation 3 legendary in Pokemon TCG Pocket, which is going to be a celebration of kind of like the 6th month anniversary of Pokemon TCG Pocket. But anyway, let's take a look at the trailer real quick and take a look at the main cards. So we have Litten, Rowlet, and Popplio. This set is based on Generation 7, the Alola region. So you're going to see Solgaleo, Lunala, the Generation 7 starters. Really cool Pokemon in this set as well. It introduced Alolan forms into the game, so like Alolan Raichu, Alolan Marowak, Alolan Ninetales. So there's going to be some really cool cards. But we have Rowlet here, Litten, and Popplio. So Rowlet having 60 HP, does 20 damage with Leafage, which is 1 energy, and also has a 1 retreat cost. Litten has 60 HP, does 30 damage with Heat Tackle, but also this Pokemon does 10 damage to itself with a retreat cost of 1. And then we also have Popplio with 60 HP, does Water Gun for 20 damage, and then also has a retreat cost of 1. So a little bit like your kind of Charmander situation, but in this time it does damage to itself instead of losing an energy. I'm guessing Incineroar has some sort of attack where if you have taken damage, then you do more damage or something like that. But either way, those are the starters. But they also have another kind of version of them as well, where we have Rowlet with 60 HP and has Skill Drive. So this attack does 10 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can obviously hit something on the bench with that. Litten with 60 HP does Scratch for 20 damage. So you can kind of choose which Litten you want to go with. And then also Popplio has the move Sing, which your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. So 2 variations of the Alolan starters for this TCG set. We then moving on to Solgaleo and Lunala. So let's take a look at the pack art. So we've got Solgaleo here on the left, Lunala on the right. Looks really cool. Again, it looks like it's going to be a 2-pack set, just like we had with Space Time Smackdown, which again, I don't think they're going to go back to like the 3-pack sort of situation, because the last major sets have all just been a 2-pack kind of set. Anyway, Solgaleo EX, 180 HP, Steel-type Pokemon. Its ability, Rising Road. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch it with your active Pokemon. So basically it just goes against the retreat cost of anything that you've got in your active spot, because Solgaleo just comes in on its own. Remember though, the legendaries in Generation 7 evolve. This was the game that introduced legendary Pokemon that can evolve. You have to get Cosmog into Cosmoem, into Solgaleo or Lunala. And that's why these cards are going to be a little bit more difficult to get out. But there's also a lot of kind of stage 2, I guess, buff cards that are helping with this situation. But either way, Solgaleo, 180 HP, has that ability, and also does Soul Breaker for 120 damage. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. So this might work really well with Dialga, because it just gives you that 2 steel energy for free. And it's also 120 damage for 2 energy is kind of busted. And it has a 2 retreat cost as well. So that's Solgaleo. And then we also have a couple of other cards as well. It's hard to see what they say. We have Alolan Meowth, which does Scratch for 20 damage, 60 HP. We'll probably go and do another video tomorrow going over every single card that's kind of in this trailer and stuff, which when we know all about the details and retreat costs and stuff, because it's kind of hard to say. I think it says your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, which is Dazzle Dance, which 70 HP from Oricorio. It's going to cost you 2 Psychic Energy. So that's a couple more cards there. And then we also have Alolan Raichu EX. I think this card is going to absolutely smash the competitive scene, because it's only needing 1 evolution from Pikachu into Raichu. It has 140 HP, but then it is a 3 colorless energy attack. So it can go into any deck, because you don't need any specific energy for this Pokemon, and it only has a 1 retreat cost as well. And plus, this attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you're doing 60 damage, and then if they have, let's say, 3 energy on their active Pokemon, that's doing another 90 damage. You're doing 150 damage from 3 colorless energy. So I think Alolan Raichu is going to be very good, because it can go, like I say, it can go into any deck. It could go into a Steel deck with Dialga. It could go into any kind of grass deck where you're creating energy from like Leafeon and stuff like that. Could go into a Giratina deck because obviously you're creating the Giratina energy. So any deck, it could even go into like a water deck. You could pop the water Misty, pop the water energy, and then obviously just Dawn it onto Alolan Raichu or something like that. There's just so many different decks that this Pokemon can go in. Of course, Pikachu will be hampered, but at the end of the day, Alolan Raichu I think is going to do very well. So it's going to be a very interesting card there for sure. We also have Lunala as well. So this Pokemon has the ability Psychic Connect. So once during your turn, you may move all Psychic energy from one of your benched Pokemon, benched Psychic Pokemon to your active Pokemon. So that just screams Giratina, because Giratina is just going to be on your bench, or maybe in your active spot, whilst you're just kind of creating this energy. You then retreat it, you bring Lunala in, who only has a 1 retreat cost as well, and then you can just hit things for Luna Blast for 100 damage. So yeah, Lunala is definitely going to pair very, very well with Giratina. I think that's pretty much guaranteed. We also have a couple of other cards as well. It's hard to say what they do. Spiteful Dance from Oricorio, the ghost form. So if any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's turn, then this attack does 60 more damage. So it's a little bit like a what's it called, Marshadow situation, but for ghost types, or psychic types should I say. And then Call from the Cold. So I think that's take a water energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. So that's very, very good. It's giving you this card is giving you free energy. So I really hope we get an Alolan EX, Alolan Ninetales EX, because then it's going to be very easy to set up with Alolan Vulpix. So that's 2 more cards there. And then we also have Alolan Marowak. So flip 2 coins. This attack does 70 damage for each heads. If at least one of them is heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. So you can be doing 140 damage and burning the Pokemon, which does an extra bit of damage for obviously one attack. Of course, you may get unlucky and hit no heads. It's just how it goes. 110 HP, 2 retreat costs for Alolan Marowak. And then moving on, we have some new trainer cards as well. But also we have some new item cards, and Rare Candy is finally in the game. And this is what I was talking about, how it's going to be buffing Stage 2 Pokemon. So Rotom decks, nothing crazy. Look at the top card of your deck, then you may shuffle your deck. And then also, we have Rare Candy. So choose one of your basic Pokemon in play. If you have a Stage 2 card in your hand that evolves from the Pokemon, put that card onto the basic Pokemon to evolve it, skipping the Stage 1. So this is obviously for Cosmog and stuff. So if you have Cosmog in your active spot, you can, and then you have Solgaleo, Lunala in your hand, you then play the Rare Candy, and then you can evolve into either Solgaleo or Lunala straight off the bat. Obviously, this works with anything, like any kind of stage, sort of basic Stage 1, Stage 2 kind of situation. So it's going to be very, very busted. It's going to be used like, this is what we needed for these kind of Stage 2 card decks, because right now it's just EX cards dominating everything. But like for Meowscarada example, like this is going to absolutely make Meowscarada an even better deck, which is good against Giratina and Darkrai anyway. And then during your first, so you obviously can't use though during your first turn or on a basic Pokemon that was put into play this turn. So yeah, you can't bring like Solgaleo out turn 1. It'd be a little bit too busted. But that is a card that I think we've really, really needed in the meta, and I think it's going to do absolute wonders. We also have a couple of other trainer cards as well. So we have Lima, which put one of your colorless Pokemon that has damage on it into your hand. So that could be very, very useful for obviously retreating and stuff. We have a couple of other cards as well. We've got Lana, so you can use this card only if you have Araquanid in play. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. So that's like a Cyrus, but they don't need to have taken damage, but you need Araquanid in play. And then we also have Kiawe as well. Choose one of your Alolan Marowak or Turtonator, take 2 fire energy from your energy zone and attach it to that Pokemon. Your turn ends. So you're basically getting 2 energy instead of 1. So very, very useful card there. And that also basically sets Alolan Marowak up as well, because you pop the energy from the next turn, and then that's the 3 energy you need to do an attack. So they're very, very good trainer cards. We then also have Acerola. So choose one of your Palossand or Mimikyu that has damage on it and move 40 of its damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's very, very good. We have Mallow, so heal all damage from one of your Shiinotic or Serena if you do discard all energy from that Pokemon. So that's, you know, it's fine if you've got no energy on that Pokemon. You can kind of just heal it for free. And they also have Sopholosis, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but can't really see. It says something about your Alolan something, Vikavolt or Togedemaru do plus 30 damage. So I think that's just literally a Cynthia situation where you just boost the attack of a certain Pokemon, a little bit like Magmar and Blaine and all that. So that's another trainer card there. And then we have Lily as a trainer card, which heals 60 damage from one of your Stage 2 Pokemon. So that's obviously going to be very useful for Solgaleo and Lunala, but any kind of Stage 2 deck. This is I think this is a set that we really needed because it's going to absolutely bolster Stage 2 decks, and I'm really excited for it. Coming up next, we also have another variation of the Alolan Raichu card, the Rainbow sort of card. Does the exact same kind of damage and everything. Obviously, it's the exact same as the other Alolan Raichu card, but obviously it's a little bit more colorful and cartoony and stuff like that. And then also we have, like I say, HD images of the Lunala and Solgaleo, but we already know what they do. So yeah, that's just a couple of more images of the set. Moving on though, we have a new promo update. This is very exciting because we're finally getting a Generation 3 Legendary Pokemon in the game. So we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, first look at new promo cards and cosmetic items coming for Pokemon TCG Pocket's half-year anniversary. So Rayquaza is basically, Dragonite, but obviously different because you don't have to evolve it, but it does less damage from Draco Meteor. So you take 4 energy, which is also colorless, by the way. So this can go in any deck, just like Alolan Raichu. So it's going to be a very, very good card. And then also, one of your opponent's Pokemon is chosen at random 4 times. For each time a Pokemon was chosen, do 40 damage to it. So you can do 120 damage to a Pokemon. Like I say, colorless energy. I think this is going to be seeing a lot of play as well because colorless cards just go in any deck. And any deck where you can produce energy for free, like in Giratina or whatever, then they just fit really well into it. And yeah, I mean, the artwork looks absolutely incredible. We also have a Shaman Skyform coin, and then we also have a Charmander Piplup sort of board as well. So that's the promo for Pokemon TCG Pocket. And then we also have a leak to go over as well. So that's the promo for Pokemon TCG Pocket, and then we also have a leak to go over as well. So Lily and Acerola times 115 paid gold packs plus cosmetics. So this is going to be in the shop, probably going to get data mined when the new set drops around the 30th. Well, it's dropping on the 30th of April. I don't know if I said that, but I feel like that was just common knowledge anyway. So we're getting this in the shop, so you're going to be able to buy Lily kind of card sleeves and, you know, playmat, icons, stuff like that, as well as Acerola, plus 115 gold as well. So it's going to be an interesting buy there, because I feel like a lot of people will want to buy this. But yeah, that was also leaked by Kra Pokey. But again, that'll get data mined and we'll actually see the images and stuff like that. But all in all, really good update today. Very excited about this set. What are your thoughts on it, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.